Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. It's that time of year when the sunlight beams into the blinds, a little opening, and just draws this dotted line of sunshine on your old pal Easy's face. Right in my eye. God, I don't know why I'm so fixated about that or with that. Hello. So glad you're here. My gosh. Here we are in the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. Baldwin Ace Hardware, beacon of DIY awesomeness in the Northland. Let's get right to it. It was a weekend for something that we like to call
Facebook fight. You are wrong and I am right. You are a stupid prick. You can suck my big fat dick. This is another Facebook fight.
No, I was tipped off. There were Facebook fights popping up all over the place. When I was, somebody pointed me in the direction of the Harbor Humane Facebook page. Harbor Humane, these folks work tirelessly, taking care of animals, trying to find homes for them. Hold on a second. And, it's just been quite a relationship with them and the community for so long. They were the ones who, when the box of puppies was found on the side of the road on that horrible rainy night when it was like 33 degrees, the puppies could very well have been dead a short time later. Good Samaritan tipped off a cop who then woke everybody from Harbor up, and they all rushed over there. They saved the puppies, found them new homes. They're supported very much by the community. I mean, in order for them to keep the lights on and keep the vets employed there that work for them, they depend entirely on the community. So they did something this year that they've done before, that in the past, there's very little blowback from it. But because the way the culture is now, and these psychopaths have found the Kid Rocks of the world who say, hey, it's okay to malign these people, the snowflakes got butthurt because Harbor put a little ribbon around their logo, which is a paw. It's a paw. It's a dog's paw. And there was like a little ribbon around it, little frame on their Facebook of multiple colors of the rainbow. And boy, that's it. That's all you got to do. Uh-oh, you've done it now. Uh-oh, boy. And there weren't a ton, but enough assholes that the troops rallied and started to attack the assholes. I did get from a confidential source that a number of the assholes who actually wrote, I am no longer helping you support animals that are wayward in the community. And then people who weren't fucking retarded would bash them, and then they would delete their comments. You know, the old dirty delete. You ever do the dirty delete? You like say something, and then you like immediately regret it. And it's all fucked up, and then you end up doing the dirty delete. Fuck me. I've done it myself. But then they so that was happening, but a few of these bigots stuck with it, and they're just, I will no longer. Can you imagine being that tightly wound that a silly little ribbon, which all that says is, hey, I love people. the world needs more love. It's all this various kindness things. And people don't like that because the most hated group of people in America today are the gays. They are hated. I know it sounds weird to say the gays, but I'm trying to keep this as lively and hilarious as possible for something that's such a serious question or subject matter. So I saw that. In fact, I have a letter from a supporter who reached out to my friends at Harbor Humane. This person, who will remain nameless, wrote into Harbor Humane these words. I am so sorry to see your wonderful organization supporting Pride by the rainbow around the dog paw. I was excited to attend the Brenna fundraiser in July. I'm not sure what that is. As I did last year, but will no longer support Harbor Humane Society. What a shame that 1% of the population has gotten so much attention. I'm not really sure what her problem is. Isn't that strange? Oh, Brenna is a band. Isn't that strange? Just to put the little frame around there? I mean, if it were like a terror organization that was murdering people, but what the fuck? Are you serious? And I think that these people are just emboldened because of the Kid Rocks. They've found their voice to be, it's because it was accepted that what Kid Rock did was a good thing by shooting beer, that these people have found their voice and they think now it is acceptable to openly do this and with like no ramifications whatsoever. As with other businesses who have supported Pride and lost billions, your organization is going to be affected big time also. If you decide to not support Pride, I would be happy to give you my money. Holy fuck. How do you become such a vile human being? What happened along the way that made you such a disgusting, corrupted soul? Oh my God. In addition, this dumb twat, when she attended the fundraiser last July, that was a month after Harbor Humane had put the rainbow around the little paw last year. Okay? So they didn't change anything. She just got more brazen. I don't know. Maybe she didn't see it. But she sure saw it this time. Holy fuck. So then I got to thinking. Let me subtly throw up a little rainbow ribbon underneath the Eric Zane Show podcast logo. Which, by the way, there's a young lady. Wait a minute, I take it back. There is a man named Aaron. Spells it EIRANN, I think. Aaron, formerly of Funny Girls Went Belly Up, who would probably look at my support of gay people in Pride and be like, what the fuck? He hates us. No, I just hate you. Just because you're a transgender individual doesn't mean you're not an asshole. First and foremost, asshole first, transgender person second. And just in case there's any people that are paying attention to this who might have a problem with me openly supporting the gays. You're an asshole first, and a gay person, transgender person second. Don't mix up the two. You'll always be an asshole. I might be too in some cases. But anyway. I'm like, okay, I gotta put this I gotta get in on this rainbow action. If I can get that much of a fight going from rainbow, from ribbon on my Facebook page, well, fuck yes, I'm gonna do that shit all fucking day. I live for this shit. That's not the reason why I'm doing it. I did it to kind of like be perfectly honest with you. When people say, "Oh, why can't we just love everyone every day?" I mean, every single person on the planet, equal rights every day. Why do we have to have a month for these gays? And it's like, you fucking asshole. Eric, as a white dude who has only had sex with chicks, has not been ostracized, vilified, bullied, marginalized, or any otherized to a point where I've considered taking my life. Many people who fall into this category have been or are and do. The idea that a little freaking image frame around a picture of a logo can actually help people feel better is the easiest and bare minimum that one can do to help someone. Holy fuck. So that's my response to that. So I put that fucking thing up there. And then for about 14 hours, I watched as my number of people who follow the Eric Zane Show podcast on Facebook started to tick down subtly. Nobody said, "Hey, fuck you. I'm not following you anymore." But they might as well have. Because I see the number of, I have about 20,000 people that follow me. Just under. It's like one by one, unfollow. I'm like, oh, yes, it's happening. Fuck yes. Now, I want to be perfectly clear here. That is a added bonus of supporting these poor people who are maligned and fighting in a society that hates them right now in America. That is an added positive side effect that these fucks would go, "Oh, I can't follow you now." So that is great news. So I'm watching it. And I go, all right, now it's time to actually point it out. Now this is when the rubber meets the road to announce to the world, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm looking at it right now. Aram's looking at likes, 19,115 likes. It's actually, I'm looking at follows, different number. Correct on your number, but I'm looking at followers. It was at 19,465 when I started this little experiment. Now it's at 19,416. So I announced, ladies and gentlemen, since I posted my little ribbon, a dozen people have unfollowed. And then I wrote, "It's working." And that opened the floodgates. Oh, my God. Fuck me. It took off like a bat out of hell. And some of these sick fucks, because then several more unfollowed me. And then a bunch of strange, because I wrote, "Hey, since I'm getting rid of all the trash, if you can share this with your friends who don't know me, we might be able to replace those fuck faces with normal people who aren't fucking retards. And so then I did that. And then there are the ones who actually like pick a fight, pick the old Facebook fight. And they continuously, they like, right, I can no longer, one asshole wrote, this is a good way for you to lose your followers. And I wrote, exactly. Of course, that is an a positive side effect of what I am doing. I don't want those people here. How many times, how clear do I have to make it? Fuck off. I don't want you here if that's you. What the fuck? Oh my God. The shit that came out of this was just spectacular. You must go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page, just to see some of these fucking children. It's the ones that are emboldened enough to actually say something. There was one asshole who said, this is very childish. And I was like, how so? All I did was I put a ribbon up there and announced that I've lost followers because of it and that it's working. How is that childish? I call that brilliant. You've exposed yourself as a fucking bigot. And you are. Any one of those people who says, easy, this is wrong, is a goddamn bigot. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. If you say anything other than, oh, this is funny or this is cool, you're a goddamn bigot. You are. There's no way around it. Oh, my God. How can you not see that? And they can't help themselves. They're like, I must weigh in. I must drop the hammer. Oh, my God. There's a rainbow around a logo. What am I going to do? I can't take this. I'm a fucking pussy. You assholes. Ha, ha, ha. You took the bait, you dumb fuck. Tyler says, I haven't scrolled through the comments. How many profile pictures did Eric screenshot and circle embarrassing features? Only a couple. There was this one fat fuck. This fucking ogre-looking motherfucking dude. And he came in with some bigoted response, and I just zoomed right in on his fat, disgusting face and just wrote, this is you. Oh. Motherfuck. I love that. I love that so much. Chris says you actually took the high ground on a lot of those interactions. Yeah, it was pretty easy. You know, and the thing is, when you actually suggest something that isn't a fuck you, Chris meant to say high road, and you actually try to say something, well, yeah, I see why you're mad or something like that, and then just say, but you got to understand this is where these people come from or something like that. There's no response. They don't ever go, or they don't say anything. They just go away. Holy shit. I paid attention on my personal page, too. I'm so fucking high-strung about this whole thing that even on my personal page, I did it, and people were like, oh, how sweet. In my opinion, this is where my head is right now. If every one of the people, let's say I have 3,000 people on my personal page. If 2,990 like it and 10 don't, in my opinion, I'm like, fuck those 10, which is ridiculous because they just might not be looking at Facebook. I'm so fucking on edge about all of this right now. My brother calls me up. He goes, what are you doing? I go, what are you talking about? Actually, I tipped him off that this is going on. And he FaceTimes me. He goes, why are you doing that? I go, what do you mean, why am I doing that? He goes, isn't like a lot of your audience, like, wouldn't they be very conservative? And I go, I maybe more so in the past, but definitely not now. I said, I've tried to work very hard to get those fucking scum-sucking pieces of shit away. What are you doing? I go, well, I don't really care. I don't give a fuck. I'm in the process of trying to turn the audience over. That's a long process. It takes time. And he goes, yeah, but isn't that bad for business? I go, dude, I don't have enough skill to avoid reeling in my feelings. So it's so much easier for me. It's much less work to not watch what I say. It's just an easier job to explain how I'm feeling. That is what fuels my show. That's why they're here. Whether they agree or disagree, it doesn't fucking matter. As long as they're not bored. That's all I care about. I don't give a shit if every person listening to this show hates what I say. I don't give a fuck. Just as long as you're not bored and you're here. So that's pretty much my take as well. That's interesting. Like, well, actually for the last year, I've been trying very hard to weed out the fucking white trash. And it's working. It's actually worked. I had a big mass leaving of them. And I think right now is probably the happiest I've ever been with the audience. I'm so, the audience, they're either not offended. They're either like of the mindset where they don't support that, but they're not offended. And those are the ones that I love the most. I mean, I love all of you that think like me because I think that's the only way that everyone should think. But the ones that do not agree with me, but still like, I fucking love Eric Zane. There's no way I'm not listening to this motherfucker. Those are like my real favorites. Those are the ones who can set aside the shit that I say and be like, fuck yeah, I gotta listen to this. So thank you. Thank you to you, the conservative fuckers who still listen to me. Like Matt over at Oath Keepers Bark and Stone. And fucking Nate Bull. He's an absolute legend. I love him. Chris says, I'm largely indifferent. Corey says, or people could not be so easily offended and not take their political advice from some random podcast. Good point. Drew writes here. Chris from Buffalo says, why do you think I'm here? I love your opinion. I love the opinions that make me think and challenge myself. Nate is in the house. He says, I don't hate everything you say, only about an 86%, but I still love you. You see, he's fucking just a saint. I love him so much. By the way, Nate, it's a crowded field for the Republican nomination. What are you going to do? You've got Trump, DeSantis, who's just a fucking worm. You got Chris Christie, Nikki Haley, who's kind of hot. I kind of love Nikki Haley. I think I would vote for Nikki Haley if I was voting Republican because I think she's hot. And then you got Pence. Which piece of shit are you going to vote for? Corey says it's like those people. It's like those people, their only source of news was The Daily Show. To me, the jokes on The Daily Show are only funny if you already heard about those things from a real news source. That's true. And Donut Dan, who just had an incredibly successful Dirty Donut race, he says, go Vivek. I don't know what the fuck that means. Nate is a huge pussy. He writes, I have to see how it shakes out, I guess. No, bullshit. You got to drop the hammer now. Don't like wait to see who's the front runner. Pick one. You fucker. Donut Dan, he had like 525 people that were at the Dirty Donut race last year. And then this year, he had like 925. Oh, my God. Clearly because you were on the Eric Zane Show podcast. That's what happened there. True, only one of the audience used the code Zane23, but who's counting? You're fucking rolling in dough, and I'm so proud of you. Michigan's number one gravel bike race is in the books, and they had to set it all up the days leading up to it in these 90-plus degree days. Oh, my God. Dan told me he was doing 12 to 14-hour days every day leading up. Oh, my God. 6,300 donuts thanks to Walmart. Vivek. What is his name? One of you wrote his name. Vivek Ramaswamy. I need to look up Vivek Ramaswamy. If there was a Republican that actually wasn't a piece of shit, I'd vote. But we won't get that. In fact, I don't even think I'll ever vote Republican again because of the abortion thing and because of, all the various culture things that drive me crazy. I can't get behind that, Kyle says, I can't decide between a giant deuce and a turd sandwich. All right. Corey says, it makes me miss John McCain. Why the fuck can't we have someone running for president who's as brilliant as me? Fiscally conservative, yet morally liberal. You can call it the Eric Zane Show podcast party. If I ran for president, would I have to give up my podcast? Is there some law against that? I don't know if I'd have to because it's like mine. Dan says just run as an independent. If I had to put my own spin on it, I would say yes. I'm fiscally conservative, but I'm not a piece of shit. For me, as you know, the hard and fast stance on abortion that I have, which, by the way, Chris Rock had the same bit in his most recent stand-up. We thought the same thing. I'm not one of these people who say, Chris Rock stole it from me, but I did say it months before that I absolutely support a woman's right to murder a baby. If some chick wants to murder her fucking baby, I'm not getting in the way of that. You go murder, that's your own fucking problem. I don't think it matters now because of the Supreme Court, but that's where I stand on that. Sir Bob of Oliver says, I base my personal opinions off of a combination of Eric Zane, Anthony Cumia, and E-Rock. Well, that's bullshit. E-Rock does not ever give personal opinions about things politically or anything like that. Because I said to him, I go, where do you stand? He goes, I'm not telling you. I go, why not? Because no one cares. I go, bullshit, they don't care. What the fuck is wrong with you? Of course they care. You're a person in the public eye. And Anthony's a fucking psychopath. Holy shit. I'm so much better than both of those. I'm better than Anthony because he's wrong 99% of the time. And E-Rock because he just doesn't say shit. I was chatting with E-Rock over the weekend. I said, are you into old school stand-up video games like Nostalgia? Which this is going to be, Kenny's ears are going to perk up. I do like those games. I wouldn't ever do anything more than just walk in, put a quarter in one of them, play it. I wouldn't pound my pud while I'm doing it. I said, all right, I'm coming to see you. There's a retro video game bar in Jersey City. Come see me. Then I wrote, are you old enough to appreciate those games, or are you a F rhymes with baggy millennial? I have no idea how old you are. Rough guess, 35. He says, asshole, I'm 45. I grew up with Atari 2600, 5200, Commodore 64, Intellivision 1 and 2, and NES. Love arcades, especially pinball. I wrote, you're 45? I had no idea. Oh, my God, pinball is my favorite, seriously. He says favorite machine is Addams Family, Terminator, Playboy After Dark, and The Simpsons. Well, you see, that's more in-depth than me. I don't, have a favorite pinball game. To me, they're all the same. You just hit the fucking ball. He says, arcades. I love the dusty old places that still have the stand-up cabinets. I play Pole Position, Outrun, Popeye, anything Pac-Man or Donkey Kong. I wrote Crazy Climber, Robotron, Rampage, Spy Hunter, Zaxxon, Berserk. All right. So at the end of the month, there's a couple of sweet joints out east that'll be frequenting to play those. While my wife sits there and drinks, I'll be playing those video games. All right. So that's kind of what my weekend, a big part of my weekend was about. I even had a pal of mine make some snarky comment on my page about gay people. I ignored it. Then the snarky comment migrated over to Diana's personal page. It's like, all right, now we got to have a discussion. What did I do? Did I calmly approach? The first thing I wrote was in a text, you better shut the fuck up. That was my opening salvo. And then it was on. And we went, this is a person I've known for 20 years. So now I'm ready to lose the friendship over this. And then we went back and forth. And fuck you. No, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. And then 2 hours later, I felt bad about the fuck yous. And I said, I'm pumping the brakes. I feel bad that I was so aggressive with you, but can you please knock this shit off? Sorry I screamed at you. And I'm sorry I told you to go fuck yourself. He responded with, I didn't mean any harm. I said, it's okay. He apologized. I apologized. Everything's back in order. That concludes this portion of the show about gays. I do have one other gay thing to talk about very soon. Not today. Show updates. This week, I'm doing live shows up till Thursday. Friday is a not the best of. And on Patreon, I will deliver something for you to listen to while I'm away. Because I am headed to Pennsylvania. A dude by the name of Matthew. This is the guy who He's adorable. Him and his better half are fantastic. Amanda, I am marrying them, which I do from time to time. And a year and a half ago, he came to see me in Jersey City when I visited the city then. I like to go there, just park the RV, hang out, go see the city for a couple days, and then drive home. This was when I was still on decent terms with Kate. Kate showed up. And it was Kate, Matt, Matthew, and Amanda. I keep saying his name as Matt and then Matthew because Matthew, a couple years ago, he did a Facebook post, and it said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to announce that going forward, I will only be known as Matthew." And I think he was beaten up pretty severely over that. I think I might have even have invited him on or called him up and put him on the podcast and said, "What? What's going on here?" I wrote out, because I actually write down the things that I'm supposed to say in the ceremonies that I do. And I send them to people who are getting married so that they can see there's no surprises, you know. And usually they want to know that. And I wrote Matt, and I have to change it because it's Matthew. He goes by Matthew now. So I'm practicing right now with you because if I say Matt, he's probably going to go, "Oh, no, I'm Matthew." Thursday, after I get done podcasting, at some point, I was going to do this all on Friday and drive the 10 hours to Eastern Pennsylvania. That would be get up, butt crack of dawn, drive, and then rehearsal dinner at night. And I had just a horrible feeling in my gut. I don't do well on those long drives. I get sleepy. It gets trance-like. You start getting EZ more than 6 hours of driving, and it's not great. So at first I was like, all right, I'm going to drive all day Friday. I'm going to do it all. I'm just going to 10 hours. I'm like, what the fuck? Who the fuck am I kidding? There is no way I'm doing that shit. So I was like, fuck it. I'll just drive for like 5 hours. And then park. And then crash at a hotel. Get up Friday, no pressure, you know. Go down to the lobby. Make the fucking waffles. You ever go to the lobby? One of the best things in America that they started to do at hotels is, if I ever go to a hotel, I usually call ahead. I go, do you have the waffle maker? They're like, what? I go, yeah. You know the deal where it's a machine and you open the valve and you put the little plastic cup full of the batter. And then you pour it into the iron, and then you close the lid. And you have to flip it over or some shit like that. At some point, you close the lid, you lock it, you flip it over. Oh my God! And this big fucking perfect waffle comes out. Oh my God! Actually, you spend like 3 hours just eating the breakfast. You can be in the shittiest hotel in America. You can be the shittiest hotel in America. If you have the waffle iron, you are, in my opinion, a 5-star hotel. I don't care if there's cockroaches in there. If you got the waffle iron, you're good with me. Like, you know, $30 a night nights in bullshit like that, where there's hookers out in front and guys selling crack. If I see that waffle iron, I'm good to go. I'll call ahead. I'm approaching whatever community, Youngstown, Ohio, or something like that. All right, yeah, it's about the halfway point on this deal. Yeah, you got the waffle iron. You do. How much is it a night? $2? Okay, that sounds good. I'll be right there. Wake up Friday, no pressure. Finish my commute to beautiful Scranton, Pennsylvania. Scranton area. I don't even know exactly where I'm going now. It doesn't matter. I even have my Easy Pass. You know, the fucking thing you put up on the windows that you can go through the tolls. Unbelievable. So I'm going to marry these two on Saturday and then come back on Sunday. But I'll take it's not too bad getting back in one day. Believe it or not, I can pull that off. I can get back in one day. Get back to where you once belong. Because I don't have the pressure of rehearsal dinner Sunday night. So I actually will make the trip all the way back Sunday night. Or I don't know. No, I at first I was toying with the idea of Saturday night, like after the wedding, like eating the dinner, shaking the hands, leaving. But no, fuck that. I'm going to eat my ass off Saturday. And then hang out with these folks after marrying Matthew and Amanda. Get up Sunday and come back. Still, the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast will go down. Still, Who Are These Zanes will go down. Everything will remain the same, except for the Not the Best Of show on Friday. This trip over will give me plenty of opportunity to listen to our sweet pals over at Free Beer and Hot Wings. And why would I do that? I'm doing that because I am going to get the most current edition ready of Who Are These Free Beers. And then next week, I am going to record another edition of Who Are These Free Beers. Okay? So those are all the updates that everybody should be aware of. If you're watching the show on Facebook, by the way, there could be some new people watching on Facebook who look at your old pal EZ as an ally to gay people everywhere. And I am. I'm an ally to everyone. The only person I'm not an ally to is bigoted butt-fuck assholes. I have no patience for that in my life. All right? That's where I am right now. And if you're such a tightly wound piece of shit that gets you all crazy and crabby and fussy, get the fuck out of here. I don't want you here. Otherwise, enjoy the show. The show is, of course, this opening monologue, which has run long, as usual. I make it available on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, but the whole show is a Twitch show. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. You can download the Twitch app, search Eric Zane Live, all one word, and there I am. Follow, link up your Amazon Prime account, and subscribe. When you're subscribed, you get this show with no commercials that get dropped in out of nowhere while you're watching. Some of you just listen to the audio podcast. Thank you for that. If everyone listening in whatever way they're listening or watching did all these things, it would be absolutely so helpful. So if you like to watch the show, if you went and subscribed to the audio podcast as well on all of the sources or maybe just one, it would be great. And if you like to listen to the show and don't watch it, if you went and subscribed on Twitch, that would help me too. And these things cost you nothing. Follow the show on Facebook, facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page, Twitter @Eric Zane Show, YouTube, Eric Zane Show. Email me whenever you want to say something in private on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. Those guys stripe parking lots. Shoreliner Striping inbox, Eric@EricZaneShow.com. I have a Patreon, which is, there's more content in 1 week of Patreon than anyone else. And that means content providers on internet-based shows or radio. You cannot, there's no one who puts up as much shit as me. Even there's shit that gets posted on there that I forgot that I scheduled it. Okay? Every single day, nearly every single day, I post on Patreon. And you can try it out for free. 7 days free. This is something I just added on Patreon, and it has been, oh my God, very, very effective because people might not know what the fuck is going on, or they might not be willing to drop $5 or $10 a month on it. And so it's so much easier if they can try it for free. And then they're like, oh, well, yeah, I like this too. It's worth my money. That makes perfect sense. I love that. So I encourage everybody to just try it free. You do need to put a payment form in there. And if it's 1 second past 7 days, you get charged. So plan accordingly. There you go. I've told you everything you need to know. And that's patreon.com/Eric Zane. patreon.com/Eric Zane. The home for Who Are These Free Beers, covering America's favorite radio show. Home for Who Are These Zanes, which is another clip review show similar to that, but it's all me. Oh, from different eras in my radio career when I'm very, very young and horrible. Right now, where I am in radio and podcasting, broadcasting, I'm unbelievably awesome. There's two things I'm great at. This and being humble and hilarious and lovable and sweet and romantic and charming. These are all things about me that you can get behind. Everybody knows it. There isn't a dude who's listening or a woman who's listening who doesn't have some type of moisture buildup in their pants because of me. All right? How the fuck did I get there? Patreon.com/Eric Zane. But for those of you that are watching on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, I'm going to cut you loose. Brandis writes, ew. I don't know if you know this. If you follow, any of you are friends of Brandis on Facebook. I don't know if I'm a friend. I think I'm a friend. Yeah, because that's how I did this, I think. I looked at her picture. You know how you see like the little image? I go, oh, there's Brandis. And I saw that she has a lot of ink on her body. I was like, wow, look at all those tattoos. So I clicked on it. And then as soon as I saw her, I went, oh my God, Brandis is a fake name. This is actress Juliette Lewis. So you gotta be fucking kidding me. Juliette Lewis listens to the show. So I got into a discussion with her just this past weekend. I forget what we were talking about. It might have been gays. Look at, she writes, ugh, an eye roll. It's so true that it's fascinating. I have never met a person who more closely resembles a famous person in my life. Like, so on a whim, I wrote, hey, has anyone ever told you you look like a famous person? And before I could say Juliette Lewis, she wrote Juliette Lewis. So I am not the first person to ever do that. You could actually make a Juliette Lewis Facebook page. And people would be like, oh my God, I cannot believe Juliette Lewis. I haven't seen her in a movie in a long time. She's all inked up. Brandis says so many people have said that. I'm guessing you've actually had people who were like, I'm such a huge fan, or just assumed. I've had that happen. There's two famous people that I either look like or looked like. What the fuck is that guy's name? Former mayor of Chicago, Rahm Emanuel. I've told this story before. This is Rahm Emanuel. Hang on a second here. There he is. That's Rahm Emanuel. I think he was in the Obama administration too. I was in Chicago. Yeah, he was Chicago's 55th mayor. He might be running again. I don't know. I was in Chicago for the Chicago Triathlon. And I walk into the Starbucks across the street from the hotel. And I asked for whatever the fuck, a grande. I just asked for a black coffee. I go, hey, black coffee, grande. And she goes, okay. And she hands it to me. She goes, no charge, Mr. Mayor. I go, what? And I knew I looked like him, but I didn't know I looked like him that much at the time. And then I turn around and there's cell phones. People are they have their cell phones out. They're recording the fucking mayor getting the coffee. I go, I'm not the mayor. And my name is Eric. I'm doing the triathlon. Phones go down. Like, oh, fuck you. I pay for my drink. Corey says, this is when you start dropping an N-bomb so it can show up on TV that the mayor of Chicago was racist. God, I wish I thought that far ahead. I wouldn't have had the balls to do that, though, because it would have gone viral. I look that much like him. And then it would have come out that it was actually me. Aram says Juliette Lewis was in a roller derby movie recently. That cannot be true. Because Brandis is one of those roller derby babes. The roller derby babes always have fantastic names. Like their stage names are always like, I didn't want to try to make one up, but they're very creative. Brandis says it was the film Whip It, but it's not a recent movie. It's an older movie. What is your name? Is it like Meat Grinder or something, or Ball Breaker, or, There's always some type of hilarious name that these women use when they do roller derby, when they play roller derby, which I still know so little about. I don't know if it's actual competition or if you're actually bashing chicks in the face, like legit. Is that a question? That's got to be it. These are the two questions you hear. Are you Juliette Lewis? And is roller derby real? I have more than one audience member who does roller derby, plays roller derby. Tanel from the Grand Rapids Pitbull Alliance is also a roller derby babe. Very aggressive women you are. Brandis says, my derby name used to be Malicious B, but now I got by my last name because it is a real sport. Well, wait a minute. Are you suggesting that if the name Malicious B wasn't used or was used, that they would go, wait a minute, when that chick bashed her head on the ground, that wasn't real? No, I liked it when I would like it if you did use those nicknames. Yeah, I can't. That seems devastatingly dangerous. Rolling around on that track with people smashing into you. You have to have a tremendous amount of skill to stay on your feet on wheels with people trying to hurt you. I'm not even sure of the object. Corey says, is it a race? What's the point of it? I think this is my very pedestrian thought as to how this works. Like, let's say there's one team, and one of the members of that team, they have to get like so many laps first. And so the other members of the team pave the road and smash everybody to get the fuck out of the way to get the one chick to the finish line, however many laps. Is that right? Does that make sense? And meanwhile, the other team, not only are they trying to do the same thing, but they're trying to bash your bitch. And so if there's a bitch bashing, that means you're fucked. Brandis says there's a jammer who gets points by going by blockers' hips. Each blocker's hips is a point. As a blocker, we hit them so they cannot pass our hips. Sounds great. I cannot believe this isn't the type of thing that is like 50,000 people there. You know? Because, you know, every so often you see about some stupid league where they like the chicks dress up and they like bat like there's the women football league and everybody, all the guys are there with boners and they actually play football. I mean, this is like that. This shouldn't be at like the local VFW like it is. It should be like at the fucking big arena in town with like 30,000 people watching. I would love that. How come that doesn't happen? You got women beating each other up. She says we don't get the support or attention deserved. We work hard and put ourselves at risk. Full contact sport on wheels. Absolutely. This is more dangerous than hockey. Aaron brings up roller derby and wrestle ball. I have not yet introduced you to wrestle ball. That is basketball and wrestling. Well, these fucking psychopaths beat the shit out of each other while trying to score a hoop. And there's suplexes and like real shit. It's not like pro wrestling. It's like they're bashing each other's. They should have boxing and swimming. We could do a whole under the umbrella of Eric Zane Show Productions, combining sports, swim boxing. I would love that. Or maybe swimming, boxing, and like Westminster Dog Show. So you're all in the pool swimming, and the dogs are in there, but they can only be like aggressive Dobermans and pit bulls. And then you got boxing gloves on, and you try to beat the shit out of the dogs because dogs are gonna fucking bite your cock. Oh my God. We can do a whole fucking year's worth of shows on combining sports. That would be awesome. Okay. I don't even know. Have I kicked everybody out yet? I don't even think I did. I was trying to kick everybody out a while ago. Okay, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. It's time for you to leave. I cannot believe I gave you a full hour of this show. Fuck that. Go to Twitch, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live.